What's going on, boys? How you doing, Gravinder, Yash? I know Boogie's in here. I know a bunch of people in here. Let's just get it going. Since this morning I told you guys I was being patient, I thought we would have a same type of move as Friday. Um, I played a little bit wrong. I thought this was the initial dip that we were waiting for. Got an IWM here. I would have done a lot better. Obviously, we did good on the IWM calls. What's up, Christian? What's up, Andrew Gervais? Heck of a day. Good job, guys. Like I said earlier, I was expecting a 4500 pin on SPX. I never expected 4515 to trade today. What's up, Ricky? Um, we told you guys this morning I was being very patient. I was waiting for the same setup as Friday, kind of. What's up, Ginger? So my issue was I thought this was the dip on IWM. I'm just gonna be very open with you guys. I did make money on that IWM, but I could have done a lot better. The reason being I thought this was the dip on IWM, so I bought 201 calls here around 20 cents. I watched them go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I was not expecting this dip. This is the problem. So this is exactly the scenario that played out on Friday, if you guys remember. We were just grinding all day, got that huge dip, and then a massive rip into end of the day. On Friday, it happened at 2:30. That's what tricked me about today. That's all I was talking about today. If you guys are in the premium chat, I kept saying over and over there's going to be a big dip. Today, we didn't get that dip until 3:15. So that's the part that tricked me. I got an IWM around the same time as Friday. I was expecting the exact same move. We got the exact same move. They just changed up the times on us a little bit there. So good for lots of people grabbed those SPX lottos at the end of the day. Good job. You guys crushed it. Congratulations. Um, so now that we're over that, you guys understood my thinking all day. I was just being patient. I didn't want to chase any of these moves over here. We already had a huge ripper all day. I didn't want to chase into anything. I was waiting for this dip so patiently, and I just had to wait another 40 minutes. But you live and you learn. But let's see overall pictures. Let's go over some of the overall pictures because today was month end, guys. We were in a bear flag, successfully negated that bear flag. So right now, we are a lot more bullish than we are bearish. Why do I say that? The daily, we had a huge bear flag. As long as it stayed inside this bear flag, I was bearish. Now we have broken above this bear flag. We've closed comfortably above the 200 day on the daily. And this was the last week of January, guys. So what else did we negate with today's action? We closed well above the 50 day. Now we're making our way on the weekly towards the 8 day and the 21 day, which is at 452 and 454. So 452, 454, we have to watch how SPY acts over there. I'll check it out in a bit. Yes, I got you. So on the weekly now, 452, 454 becomes resistance on SPY. Monthly candle closed today. So let's see the monthly. Looks like a very bullish candle. So a lot of noise in this candle. As you guys know, this month has been a mess, but the monthly candle has successfully closed above the 8-day moving average, which continues our trend of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We have almost 20 months above the 8-day moving average, 4 more months, and we got 2 years full on top of the 8-day moving average. They completely saved the monthly candle. If you look at the monthly candle now, it looks like a hammer candle, which tells me there is more upside to come here, guys. On the weekly, we have 452, 454. If 452 and 454 clears, we're in the clear. I mean, bulls are back in charge after all this nonsense about a recession, about all this dumping, weak market, everything. Bulls are right back in control now, just from based on those two candles. We'll see the action tomorrow. Obviously, we need follow through to prove this. But for right now, the bulls have done what they needed to do on the last day of January. We got QQQ. Everything is almost the same. QQQ is a little bit weaker. We are still under the 200 day on QQQ. 365.21 is key on QQQ. 365.21. What the hell was that? 365.21. So if we close above 365.21 on QQQ, we can be right back into bull mode. But for right now, it is still underneath the 200 day, which tells me tech is the weakest sector. SPY is closed on top of it. XLF is probably closed on top of it because if QQQs is weak, something's got to take up SPY, right? So XLF comfortably above the 200 day. Looks like it held the retest here. Everything looks great right now. XLF is strong above 200-day, SPY above 200-day. QQQ is the only thing that's still underneath. IWM is obviously underneath. It's the weakest out of the four because it's well under the 200-day, and we have a death cross. So when the 50-day moving average crosses below the 200-day moving average here, that's called a death cross. IWM is the only one that's done it, and IWM is still not taken out the high from last week, which was January 26th. XLF did not either. QQQ well over January 26th highs, and SPY well over 26th highs as well. So everything can be shifting back in the favor of the bulls here, guys. Don't be too stubborn. I know I was very bearish last week, but if I see action like this, I'm going to switch to a bull right back quick. You got to be like water in this market, right? We're trading here. Bear flag is negated on the daily and 4 hour on all these indexes as we broke the highs of the bear flag. So everything is turning back bullish right now. Before I jump in leaps or anything, I want to see a little bit more bullish action, maybe some follow through. But VIX was destroyed today, lost a lot. So this, everyone was saying it's a cup and handle. It does look like a cup and handle, I agree. This handle is now a little bit too extended. Let's see tomorrow if we can take out the 21-day to the downside. 24.57. If we close below 24.57 tomorrow, very bullish on the indexes, very bearish on VIX. So 24.57 close below tomorrow, and we can get more follow through upside in the indexes. So that's what we're watching for tomorrow. Right now, very good day for the bulls. They definitely won today. And tomorrow we have monthly first of month inflows. So there should be buying tomorrow. Let's see. Nvidia, stock of the day probably. It's one of the strongest stocks I've seen, up 7%. If you look at Friday's low, it closed at the low on Friday was 213 on Nvidia. We closed today at 245. So that's like a 30-point move, guys. Like 32-point move in 2 days on Nvidia is a big move in market cap. Other than that, again, negated the bear flag, closed above the 8-day moving average. A lot of stocks did this today. Remember, in a downtrend, we usually bounce to the 8-day moving average, reject, come down. This is the first sign of strength where we're starting to close above the 8-day moving averages. We need continuation, and exactly what I've been telling you guys since time. So this is the low, right? Where do we set the higher low? I mean the lower high, and then we need to set a higher low as compared to this. 208.88. As long as we hold 208.88 to the downside now, we're going to start to change the trend back in the favor of the bulls. And right now I wouldn't rush into equities. Why? Because let it rip 2 or 3 days, then it's going to pull back, and when we get that higher low, that's when you want to start adding equities, in my opinion. Other than that, I mean, we've been down for what, weeks now, and 2 days green is not going to completely change the market, but it is starting to look a lot better for the bulls now. Amazon, another reason why we talk about it. I was showing you guys these Bollinger Bands. Like, the weekly has never closed outside the Bollinger Bands. Last week we did close outside. So first time in history Amazon has ever closed a weekly candle outside of the Bollinger Bands. That tells me it was due for a bounce. Last week we got a bounce, mostly on Friday. Today we followed through, and now we're at the lower. If Amazon, Google have good earnings this week, they have huge room to run, guys. Huge room, because we're right at the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, even on the weekly. Let's look at the daily real quick. Amazon tends to go to the, like, obviously sometimes it holds the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, then it reverses to the mean. So what I'm watching for in Amazon, this is very key, guys. Listen to this very carefully. Not the Bollinger Bands, whatever. Like, we are lower side of it. Reversion, the mean is way up here on Amazon. What I want you to watch this week on Amazon is this MACD right here. So once this MACD starts crossing on Amazon, if this blue line comes above the orange line here on Amazon, that's when Amazon starts going on a run, guys. So this is what you want to see. Look at, why do I say that? Here, I'll show you right here. So look at when every time Amazon gets destroyed, when this MACD crosses over, you see the bottom there where the blue line crossed the orange line, right at the bottom there near the date. Look at the run that Amazon goes on, right? That's one example. But one example is not enough for us. Look at this. The blue line crosses the orange line right here. Look at the run it goes on, right? Every time the daily MACD crosses over on Amazon, we get a massive run. And you can look back in history and take a look. See the blue line right here crossed over the orange line? Look at this run on Amazon. So make sure you're watching this MACD on Amazon on the daily. As soon as that orange line crosses over, it's time to take a month out calls on Amazon for myself. I'm not telling anyone else to do it. I'm saying that's what I'm waiting for to go really, really heavy on Amazon. So that's what I'm waiting for on Amazon so far. We're just watching that MACD, the blue line. I'm watching it very, very closely every day. As soon as it confirms a crossover, right now it's curling back up to crossover. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. But once it does cross over, this thing's going to go nuts. And I'm getting ready for calls for Amazon for March. That's my game plan. You guys do it according to your plan. We have Google earnings tomorrow, and it's almost the same story on Google here. We got that MACD cross coming. And if you go back in history, it's the same story, guys. When that daily MACD crosses back over, look at the run that Google goes on. Same thing. Look at this run. Like, just scroll back in history. If you guys don't believe me, like, look at this MACD cross right here. Look at this run. So that's what I'm waiting for, is the daily MACD crosses on a bunch of these names. Yash wanted me to go over Microsoft, so we're going to go over Microsoft. Microsoft actually just crossed over. So this is a great call by Yash. I didn't even check it on Microsoft. I was busy watching Amazon. But MACD just crossed bullish on the daily on Microsoft, and it's probably the same story as Amazon. Every time we cross over, it goes on a run. Here's a run, here's a big run right here, MACD crossed here, big run, and just go back in history. Look at this cross right here, big run. So I think Yash got a great entry on Microsoft calls here, just based on that MACD that I've been watching. The daily MACD crossover is a very strong signal, and Microsoft is doing it right now. Facebook should be curling up as well. You guys see? So watch these big tech names. They're usually, if the pattern holds, I mean every single time that we've gotten a daily MACD cross on any of these names, they're good for at least 3-4 day runners, guys. So make sure you're paying attention to these. As soon as these MACDs crossed, I will be calling out my plays, obviously, but don't just wait for me. Make sure you're watching yourself as well. Jumia, strong day today. We're in the March 18 9.5 calls. Same story here, that MACD is starting to curl up as well. So if you guys see this, this is the daily. I think I looked at the weekly before I took these calls right here. Nope. So strength in small growth names today, guys. You guys seen it all over the place. Jumia, big day, almost 16% today. Our calls are green. Sava had a big green day as well, about 11%, back over two previous resistances. Great day. You had Fiverr going nuts today. Fiverr was up 17.5%, closing above the 8-day for the first time in the whole downtrend. SE, great day today. 10%, closing above the 8-day moving average for the first time in a long time as well. So a lot of these stocks are very beaten up, and they're starting to reverse here. So keep your eyes open. These can go on big runs, especially the good companies like SE. What else we got? Something else was going crazy today. Neo was going nuts today, 17.27%. So when people really step on the gas on these shorts here, on downtrends, once they hit a bottom, all those people that, so everyone that shorted after January 26th is screwed now. They have to cover their shorts today. Why? Because the price was going up. They were getting stopped out. They were squeezed out of their shorts, and that just adds momentum to the upside. So do we get a day 2? Do we get a day 3? That's the most important thing to watch right now. We did get closes above 8-day moving averages. But again, guys, Walmart negated a huge head and shoulders pattern here. Market changed. If the market stayed weak, I was guaranteed you this Walmart was going to break down and come back and test this 125 level. But for now, it held exactly where it needed to hold on this head and neck. Jesus Christ, head and shoulder neckline. I can't even talk. Head and shoulder neckline held perfectly so far, and a big bounce off it. So that's exactly what you want to see, especially in a bearish looking chart where it holds the neckline and reverses. That's a very strong pattern as well. Adobe, another one that reversed hard today. I haven't even looked at CRM, but that one probably reversed hard today. Yep, CRM 5% day almost. So most of these stocks Remember, I'll go back to SE because that's the one I've been showing you guys every single day. Very clear downtrend, been rejecting the 8-day moving average the whole way down. Finally, at one point, sellers get exhausted. Bulls take back over, closed above the 8-day moving average, and now what we need to do is we need to see another day of continuation. We need to put in a lower high, and then we need to put in a higher low. So anything above 119.41 is now going to be a higher low on SC, but we need to see continuation. Let's see if everything can start getting back over the 21-day moving average, and then we can really step on the gas as bulls again. Until then, we need some proof still, guys. 2-day bounces are normal in a downtrend. Obviously, today was a much stronger day, but it is end of month, so expect shenanigans. It is first of month tomorrow, so expect more shenanigans. But for right now, the bulls proved what they needed to prove today, and they proved it in a big way. So Pinterest, I saw followed T into some calls on Friday. I didn't go too heavy. The reason being, Pins was actually the laggard on Friday, where Snap and Twitter and stuff were ripping. Pins was lagging, but I scrolled out on the chart a little bit and I seen this huge support at 26 I had drawn out from a long time ago. So you guys see it's a very sticky price around 26 on Pins. Used to be support area, then it turned into resistance area, more resistance area. Finally it got through and it revisited that area after almost a year and a half here. Revisited that area, held solidly on Friday. Got that huge move up today. I sold them for a nice gain this morning. I jumped in 35 calls for Feb 18th. If there's continuation, I think Pins will gap up tomorrow and I'll sell them again and I'll add more again. So that's my plan on Pins. I don't plan on holding it over and over. I just quick pops, get out, quick pop, get out. But Pins at the end of the day here definitely showed some strength. There was a weird buy order here. I think Nils pointed it out. I was watching it. Someone slapped the ask for a lot of shares. So that's something worth noting. End of day, big buying volume, big rip. And if you get rid of this one candle by that big buyer, it closed at high of day. So very, very bullish day of Pins. And let's see if we can get followed through tomorrow. It doesn't have any resistance till 31.36 on the daily. And on the weekly, we have resistance up at 32.57. So there is about a $2 move possible on Pins. Let's see if we get a gap up tomorrow. But plus T is all over it, so you know how good this guy is with buyouts and stuff. I don't know where he finds this information, but if Pins gets bought out in the next couple of days, I wouldn't be surprised. And yeah, it was lagging behind Snap on Friday. Snap had a good day Friday, good day today. Pins only had a good day today. Friday was kind of weaker. Twitter, same thing. Good day Friday, good day today. So let's see if Twitter can. Also, Twitter is one to watch as well, guys. 21-day moving average and this downtrend line. If it gaps and goes tomorrow, this can be a break of a big downtrend. Can even get a move all the way to 41.50 before we go and set that higher low. Check out AMD tomorrow. We got earnings on AMD, Google tomorrow. It's very beat up, man. This name is very, very good. AMD is one of the strongest companies in the market. Semiconductor chips will always be needed in every single tech companies and every single technology thing you can think of. AMD will be needed, Nvidia will be needed. So longer term, this is not a bad area to scale in equity on AMD or Nvidia, in my opinion. Tomorrow we have earnings. I don't know how they go, but right now the stock is so beaten up. As long as they don't completely miss on earnings, I think AMD will gap up on earnings tomorrow. Closed above the 200-day, closed above the 8-day moving average, all in one day, fixing candles all in one day. 50-day on the weekly is holding up. Last week we saved it. Today we have continuation above it. If we get over last week's high on AMD, 117, we can expect a move to 125-ish this week. 125 is the move I'm expecting on AMD this week, which is another 11 points up. So that's just based on 125 is the resistance of the 21-day and the 8-day moving average, two moving averages combined. So if we get over that, then the sky's the limit. But it will be a tough resistance there this week. Let's see how they do on earnings tomorrow. I have no idea what they do. Again, earnings are a gamble. Other than that, Google also reports, Facebook reports. Big week for earnings. We have to watch and see. Everyone's been crushing earnings so far. If they continue that cycle, I do expect the market to make a big bounce here. Especially after all the weeks we've been down. Almost all of January has been down. End of December was down. So big moves are possible to the upside here as long as companies keep crushing earnings. Big week this week. Make sure you're paying attention. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you had a good day.